Hello everybody and welcome to another MXGP TV studio show with me, Paul Malin, and Lisa Leyland. We've had a long journey to get here. We're back in Latvia for the second time this week, and we've only had one day off, so it's going to be another hot one here. European action today, MXGP, MX2 tomorrow, of course. But on our studio show today, we've got Alvin Osland, Jorge Prado, and Rasmus Jorgensen. And in a moment, we'll catch up with our first guest. But before we do, Lisa, how are you? One down.
Yeah.
Two to go. How has your Baltic experience been so far?
So far, so good. It's nice to be here. Super organised, protocol working well, good racing, nice weather. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the next two GPs.
It's a little bit cooler today as well, which is
a little
nice.
bit. It's a little bit nippy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I've got my shorts on, so I'll put my jeans on later.
Yeah, you do that.
Oh, I would.
No one would have known had you not said you were in shorts. Anyway, let's crack on with the show. Alvin Osland, Honda Racing Asamoah joins us. Welcome to our studio show. It's been a while since we last saw you. But in Sweden, I guess, you know, lockdown never happened. So was it business as usual?
Thank you for having me. Yeah, it's been a long break from racing, but yeah, like you say, we in Sweden I could ride like normal actually for this period, so it wasn't so bad. It just I miss racing in the normal schedule.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to ask, was it a case of just continuing on as normal with the training and the riding? Nothing changed at all because you weren't in lockdown?
Yeah, I didn't just like work hard every day because I know it's gonna be a long time. So we plan it a little bit different, but yeah, I could ride when I want, so that was good.
Do you think that helped? Do you think that made a difference because you weren't in lockdown and many of the other riders were?
I was hoping the races will just start directly, and then it would be good for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, the news. The other countries, they open up more, and the other guys could start riding also. So I think everybody is prepared at this moment.
Well, in the winter, you joined a new team, of course, Honda Racing Asamoah. How has it been so far? As in, you know, we stopped for COVID, and then, but did you have a good feeling pretty much straight away with the bike and with the atmosphere before everything shut down?
I had. We had a really good winter with many hours on the bike and good training, and the team is very good. It's very professional, and I really like it. And yeah, I was coming into the two first races with big hopes, and maybe I wanted a little bit too much, and it didn't end up so good for me. It was also a little bit difficult condition with the rain and in both those races. So. But yeah, it's nice to be back again now, and hope we can show some good stuff.
Sure.
You said you came into the season with quite high hopes.
Yeah.
Looking at the two races, you did seem to struggle a little bit. Like you mentioned, perhaps the track conditions, but also, do you think it just was a case of you just weren't ready at that point of the season, maybe?
I think I was, but yeah, I make some mistake with crashing and struggle a little bit with my Googles and stuff like this. So. Just wasn't the best races for me.
Well, you changed all of that on Sunday. You look like you're really enjoying being back up at the sharp end. We just got a clip here. How was it for you to be back, really?
Yeah, it's so nice. I wait for this moment for a long time now, and I feel good. And yeah, first race I was riding. I was happy about the riding, and I felt very strong. And I'm not super happy about the second race. I was making some mistake and some bad lines, and I come a little bit tired in the end. So, but yeah, I'm hungry for more, and I looking forward to race again already on tomorrow.
Well, obviously this was race one. You were in 8th at this point, just chasing down Maxime Renault, and obviously he's been on the podium a couple of times. He's, you know, I guess hotly tipped to be certainly a top 3 finisher in the World Championship this year. From your side, you know, I mean, a great battle, but, you know, how much confidence has this given you, knowing that you could actually catch Maxime and actually run with him and challenge and actually make a pass on him late on during the race?
Yeah, I see every rider the same, and I just want to do my best, and it doesn't matter what number or name is in front of me. I want to make the pass if it's possible and make the best results.
Yeah.
Well,
I was going to say, how were the track conditions actually? Because a lot of people talking about the ground being quite hard underneath, even though it's a sand track. Was it difficult? Was it challenging?
In my opinion, it's always been a little bit hard here, and I really like it, and it was good that they leave it from the first day. We started already with a rough track, and yeah, it was good. I like it.
Yeah, well, now like you've had a taste of it again, clearly a good feeling with the track here in Hegums. Are you looking forward to seeing what the next 2 GPs have in store for you?
Yeah, and it will be interesting to see also with the short period of recovery and see how everybody will be if you're tired or not, or
and how they deal with it and how everybody deals with it.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, obviously, you know, there are going to be some small track changes. We were just discussing them here. The layout for this weekend is going to be the same, but I think in the wave section they put like a double towards the end, and just before you come on the start, there's a double into the chicane. It won't change things much. Also on the back straight, you know, after the second tabletop, there's a single roller and a double into the corner. And you were saying off air that was quite technical on the weekend.
Yeah, it was some technical parts because it was quite bumpy and hard bumps. You need to be really precise with the landings and hit the bumps correct to avoid a high side or whatever. So yeah, but I like that you can play a little bit with the bumps, and yeah, it's more technical.
Yeah. Well, look, we are almost out of time, but Lisa, why don't you tell us about our fantastic promo that we've got on offer at the moment?
With MXGP TV?
Oh, absolutely.
I will let you guys know right now. Well, don't forget, the best riders, the best action, and the best races live are all here at MXGP TV. You also have access to the live studio show, our 26-minute video magazine, Behind the Gate, plus all kinds of other content for you to enjoy, such as WMX, the EMX classes as well. So if you already subscribe, that's great, fantastic. But if you know someone that might get a kick out of it, even better, pass the message on. It would be rude not to. So that's mxgptv.com.
Oh, totally rude.
It's a little bit rude, isn't it, if you haven't subscribed already?
Yeah. Just before we go, Alvin, did you like the one-day format?
I like it because, yeah, you can put everything in, all the focus in one day, and yeah, I think it's good. And also, like, for staying here 1 week, it's less traveling and stuff like this, and yeah, I really like it so far. Good, good. Well, look, Alvin Osland, thanks for joining us. We'll catch up with Jorge Prado in a moment, but before we do, here's some highlights from the MXGP of Latvia just 2 days ago, MX2 Race 2. MX2 Race 2, the MXGP of Latvia, and it is very tightly contested between an F&H Kawasaki of Borromée and Tom Vial. The two French riders bang bars at the end of that straight. So Tom Vial leads the way for Red Bull KTM. This has been a solid weekend for Mathis Borromée going after Vial. And Hoffa, his front wheel is broken, not going to go much further with that. Geerts again tries to find his way past the Frenchman. And this time Geerts does go through and swiftly moves into second place. The sand here not behaving as it normally would. We've had a long hot summer, it's hard, it's edgy, it's soft and loamy in places as well. Jago Geerts easily goes through it. Maybe Tom Vial allowed that to happen a little bit. Knows he doesn't need to fight with Jago Geerts. This circuit will catch you out if you do not pay attention. The question is, how much has Ruben Fernandez got in the tank here? Man! Fernandez! How did he get away from that? Just hit the eject button. He's like the Terminator. He's going to keep coming back for more. You watch. Whatever happens from here in the next 7 minutes plus 2, you cannot knock the performance of Fernandez, and he goes by the Frenchman, so into 7th place then. Watch this, over on the left top of your screen, so Mathis Borromée, another rider, and Vial's gone straight on. Vial is off the track and managed just to stay ahead of Borromée. Whoa. Tom Vial is going to go through as they start the final lap. And Tom Vial runs him wide. We've got a new race leader.
Ah, hello. And as quick as a flash, Jago Kietz responds. Cuts back to the inside. Oh, nice move, Jago. And the 193 cruises to the line. Take his 4th career race win. He lights the candles here in Riga. But it's Vial who will win the Grand Prix. Van der Moosdijk over the line there in 2nd. And Borromée will come through in 3rd for 3rd overall. F&H Kawasaki MX2 racing team, Mattis Borromée, Rowan van der Moosdijk, his teammate, 2nd overall. But Tom Vial, Red Bull KTM Factory Racing, will stand on the top step of the podium for the 2nd time this year, 3rd time in his career. He arrived here with the red plate. He had a 5-point advantage. He's now got a 22-point advantage over Jago Kietz. Tom Vial continues to lead.
Hello everybody, welcome back to our live studio show here on MXGP TV with me, Paul Malin, and Lisa Leyland, where our second guest is in the building, Jorge Prado, Red Bull KTM Factory Racing. Great to see you. I guess before we start, you know, the last 2 years have been absolutely fantastic for you. Couldn't have asked for better, 2 world titles. Yeah. But the last few months have been completely different, haven't they? Completely opposite, to say the least.
Yeah, first of all, good morning.
Morning.
And yeah, the last 2 years has been incredible to me. 2 world titles in the MX2 class, and yeah, moving up to the 450 class. So the MXGP class has been a bit difficult because of the injuries. So yeah, I'm trying to get back in shape, try to get putting some hours on the bike, which I didn't really have the time because of these injuries and setbacks. So, but yeah, I'm enjoying it. Mm-hmm. I'm enjoying it, even though I went through some painful times, but I'm fine.
Yeah. Well, obviously, the first injury was the femur, which we know about was December.
Yeah.
And so going into Matterley, you only had, what, 2 or 3 weeks maybe on the bike beforehand? So with that in mind, you must have been pleased that you were, A, able to ride, and B, pick up as many points as you did, 26 points on the day.
Yeah, I crashed in the middle of December, and then in 2 months, I get back on my bike, and I race Matterley with just, let's say, 2 weeks on the bike, which in those 2 weeks, the first week, I couldn't even really ride at all. Like, I was just on the pegs. I couldn't put my feet up, like down or whatever. And yeah, I went to Matterley, I can tell you, without any training, just some physical training. And with everything I had from last year. So I did a very good race. Top 10 overall, which I was impressed. And man, if I look back, I was not even, yeah, I was maybe like 60%, and I could do a top 10. It's incredible. Yeah.
Well, what was the hardest part about riding here in England? Were you nervous about any of the conditions or anything like that?
Well, I was nervous because I didn't ride a track with big jumps, and I didn't even know if my leg would, you know, be able to hold on and I could be able to jump. So in the free practice, I was quite scared in every single jump. Right. But then once I felt that the leg was, let's say, strong enough to jump those jumps, I started riding a little bit better, but I was struggling a lot in the ruts because I couldn't put my leg out of the peg. Yeah. So yeah, it was also, my knee was a bit painful, and yeah, I was completely out of shape. So not the way I wanted to start this MXGP career, but I think I did very well, and I put my maximum effort in every single training. So I couldn't ask for a better result.
Sure.
Well, 10th overall at round 1, and then we went straight into the sandy conditions of Valkenswaard. Yep. Were the slower track conditions better for you, or would you say they were still quite mentally challenging?
I expect it to be better. So I remember coming back from England to Holland. I was like, okay, now we are back in the sand. It's my strong point. Yeah. So I remember going to Grevenbroich on Wednesday before the race, and I can tell you 15, the top 15 of the World Championship riders of the 450 were there. So I could have some references and see if I was slower or faster in the sand. And I remember I was doing the moto, and the guys in front lapped me maybe not only once, but twice. I was maybe 11 seconds slower than Tim or Tony or these guys. So I remember finishing the training when I was done, and almost crying, like, what the hell is going on? I cannot even hold my bike. I cannot even ride a sand because it was even more difficult than riding hard bike. So coming to the race, I was like, okay, it's going to be a tough one.
Yeah.
But then on Saturday, quali race, third in the quali, and with the fastest lap of the race. So from 11 seconds on Wednesday to being the fastest guy on Saturday, it was a good improvement. And then on Sunday, long motos, still could manage a fourth in the first one, and start crashing the second one. But anyway, it was a good weekend as well. Yeah.
But of course, you had the first turn crash as well. That didn't help really, did it?
No, the start crash didn't help.
Yeah.
At all. Also, I crashed on my bad leg, so I was like, ooh, but nothing happened.
But
so that was good.
But sometimes mentally that is good, because until you have a slip-off or that crash where you can go, actually, I'm okay.
Yeah,
You know?
I was all right.
Yeah.
Just, a little bit, full of mud. And when you're not 100%, it's tough to come from the back to the front, you know. So, but it was all right. It was all right.
Running out of time here. Then you broke your collarbone just during the lockdown.
Yeah.
How were you doing before that? And what were your first thoughts when you hit the ground in Belgium? When you realised you were hurt again? Devastation.
Well, so after Matali, we were, in lockdown, everyone. So I said, okay, I will take my time to recover the leg. So I was doing that. And then when everything was, let's say, open again and the tracks were open, I started riding a little bit. I was like 2 weeks of riding, and then suddenly in just a small corner, I just went over the bars and face planted the ground, so broke my collarbone with only 2 weeks of riding. So again, another 4 weeks, and then we are, 3 weeks before the first GP back.
Well, how did it feel to be back racing again on Sunday? Was it actually quite nice to have a bit of normality back again?
Oh yeah, it was great to be back racing. I would have liked a bit more time for me to, get fit. But anyway, we are back racing. I love racing. I'm, a rider that likes to race, really. So it was great. It was very great.
And it looked like you were enjoying being up front again. This battle with AJ stood out, particularly in the second race. And you were fighting as well, again.
Yeah, I tried to do my best. I mean, for sure, I'm not 100%, but I think these races will help me also to get a bit more fit. So probably on Wednesday I will be a little bit better, and maybe on Sunday a little bit better if I can recover 100%. So we will see. I mean, I did a very good race on Sunday. I'm very happy about it, and let's keep going like this, no mistakes, and just try to enjoy as I'm doing right now.
All right, well, look, we are out of time, but Jorge Prado, Red Bull KTM Factory Racing, thanks for joining us. All the best today, tomorrow and Sunday, and for the rest of the season. I'm confused. But we'll be back in a moment with Rasmus Jorgensen, course team manager from Rockstar Energy Husqvarna. Before we do, though, let's catch up with some highlights from MXGP Race 2 from here just a few days ago.
Hurling's down in 22nd at the first split. It was him that got caught in that first cone crash. I'm sure we will look at that again. Koldenhoff leads then. Did he grab the foxhole shot? But it's Koldenhoff who leads. Geisser second, Siwa third, Prado fourth, Casal fifth, Fevre in sixth, the leading Kawasaki rider. Right, AJ coming under attack from Prado once again. There was a mistake in the waves there. And he goes around the outside of the Lithuanian, takes a position away. So Prado back up into fourth place. Probably get them later on today as Fevre goes past Prado. And Prado messes up completely, and that allows Jasikonis to get back alongside. And Siwa alongside the championship leader, and he's going to make a move. And the Yamaha rider alongside Geisser. He's got to go the long way round here though, and he does. Wow, full commitment from Siwa. Geiser responds immediately. Knows he's got a fight in his hands. This is perfect for Koldenhoff. Oh, and Geiser. And Geiser is down this time. He was hanging off the side of the bike. He was alongside Koldenhoff as well. Wow. Jeffrey Hurlings just goes by. What a turnaround. Feet off the pegs. He tried to side saddle on one peg. C were good to respond there, and Febvre looked up just in time. Siwa is making a last lunge for victory here on the Yamaha. Koldenhoff will know he's right there. They're going to be side by side as they crest this hill, and Koldenhoff still hasn't taken a look over his shoulder. Talk about a final lap showdown or half lap showdown. Glenn Koldenhoff, he will cross the finish line here. He wins race 2. He wins the Grand Prix. A first ever race win for Gas Gas.
Yeah, you know, I had to go really deep, but I have to thank again the team. You know, I pulled such a big hole shot. It's like a rocket out of the gate, and I'm very proud of what we achieved together with my team, Standing Construct Gas Gas, and all the guys from Austria. I think we made history today with Gas Gas, so it's amazing.
Congratulations to Glenn Koldenhoff, the overall winner here this weekend. Tim Geiser second overall, Roman Febvre third. Jeffrey Hurlings maintains his grip on the championship leader's red plate though. But what a day for the Standing Construct Gas Gas factory team.
Welcome back to our third and final part here on our MXGP TV live studio show here. It's round 4 of the FIA Motocross World Championship, and this one is the MXGP of Riga at the same Zelterzerg circuit here in Kegums. And our final guest is in position, of course, Rasmus Jorgensen, team manager now for Rockstar Energy Husqvarna Factory Racing on the MX2 side. Welcome to our studio show, Rasmus, and first of all, congratulations on the promotion.
Thank you.
As a rider, did you ever think one day you'd be managing one of the most sort of famous teams in World Championship motocross?
At the moment, no. I think it's something that came along, you know, with the accident and me having to stop my career early and whatnot. And I think in the back of my mind, maybe starting out as a trainer or a coach, you know, how most people start out. I think in the back of my mind, I saw Antti, I saw all these team managers, and it was so far away at the point, you know, and still right now I have to pinch myself sometimes. Like it came quite early, and I'm super happy and thankful for the opportunity.
And how has your day-to-day routine changed then? Like I said, you were maybe coaching, mentoring the riders before. Now you're upstairs. In my mind, I imagine quite a lot of pen pushing.
Yeah.
Is that right, or is it still kind of pretty much the same as it was?
No, it's similar, but it's like you say, it's a lot of office work now too. There's a lot of political stuff involved now too. You know, having to deal with sponsors, with logo placements, with the factory and whatnot, and there's still a lot to learn, you know, but I enjoy it. And as far as the riders goes, for me it's important to kind of still have that connection with the riders, so I try as much as I can to be every day at the track with them. I would rather do a few more hours in the office and then stay with them at the track to still kind of get that and keep that connection, you know. It's important for me also not to change too much, because it's worked in the past years, you know.
Well, it's not been the easiest of starts, has it? So let's start with TKO. He picked up an injury right before the start of the season, didn't he?
Yeah. So you know, this sport is tough. It's really tough sometimes, and he had a crash in Spain actually. I would say 1.5 months before the beginning, or maybe even less, and he broke his scaphoid in the wrist. And people who know about that injury, it's really a tough one, and he had to have a compression screw put in there quite fast, and
And on the TV there, he's riding England, and I can tell you he was in a lot of pain that day. And
yeah, it didn't help that he crashed in the time practice session.
No. But you saw the crash also, Paul, and you could see that he didn't have the strength, you know. And the same story in Varkenswaard, really tough weekend, and then kind of got a second chance, you know, to turn things around. Had a second surgery to take out the screw again as it was coming out. And then, yeah, unfortunately, last week, another crash, and yeah, it's been tough for him so far.
Well, I was going to say, he managed to tough it out in the first 2 rounds, 7th overall both times. And then COVID happened, so that was the perfect opportunity to recover, and then boom, another crash just days before we restarted. I mean, it's tough, but also mentally, psychologically, it's a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I can tell you that day leaving the track, you know, when we were supposed to leave to Latvia and having now then suddenly to change the whole program, I needed to book a flight for Thomas to stay 1 more day in Belgium to get treatment and all the necessary treatments and whatnot. And those days I love the sport so deeply, but those days it's tough, you know, because you see the riders putting in so much work, and they were so ready, and Thomas was so ready to go again, and then one little split second, you know, it's just doubting if he's even going to start here, you know.
And actually, he really had to dig deep in the second race, particularly here on Sunday, and he actually probably almost rode better than he did in the first race, because the first race he started here and kind of faded. The second one, he was a long way down and worked his way up to get 8th overall. So I guess you both must have been fairly pleased with that, how that turned out in the second race. Not where you wanted to be, but just the performance to come from behind and, you know, get those points.
Yeah, definitely. Also because, honestly speaking, he just left the track in the qualifying in the morning and was like, yeah, I can't hold on. Like, I don't have any strength. So we really had to find a solution how to get the pain away and all these things, and to come away with 8th overall and even advance in the championship to 6th was a very positive end to that situation, you know.
Well, aside from TKA's problems, Jed looks pretty good. I know he missed the podium in England and Valkenswaard, but surely it's only a matter of time. I mean, he certainly does have the speed, doesn't he?
Yeah, definitely. He has had, I would say, his best ever winter preparation, and yeah, it's great to see him finally. You know, last year was a tough year, and he's happy now, and it's just those last pieces of the puzzle that needs to get together. And you know also, Paul, like sometimes after 2 rough seasons, it can be just a few consistent races and it just turns completely. So we're definitely looking to that, and the main thing is the start. You know, in MX2 right now, they're so close, so you need to get up there in the front and battle with those guys, otherwise it's hard.
Yeah, obviously Matti looked really good, and I was impressed with him actually. You know, you could see from the last couple of years there was, you know, this rider, these performances wanting to get out, and he put those performances in here. It was a shame that he tipped over in that corner in the second race in Matterley. But coming on to this weekend, shame that he fell in the first race when in 6th place. That 9th overall didn't do his performance any justice whatsoever. He deserved better from the weekend on Sunday.
Yeah, definitely. He was in a good position, and he was so bummed about the crash, but he just lost the front and actually tipped over a second time the second lap. So it was a really tough first race, and second race 6th is a decent result, but we all know, and he know himself, that he can do a lot better. So we're looking for a lot of improvements tomorrow, and I'm really looking forward to it.
How did the riders find the one-day format? Actually, I guess for Thomas, perfect, because you're only putting yourself, you know, through a free practice, do as much as you want to do, and then time practice, do as much as you want to do. There's no qualifying race, no time practice to get that grid position, you know, before that. And then obviously, you know, it simplifies things a little bit, doesn't it? So
yeah, I think you know,
some people like to ride on Saturday as well, don't they?
Yeah. I mean, it's completely different, because now you actually need to get out there and really have a good feeling straight away. You don't have that mellow training and just getting into it, you know. And we have adopted the training to this format, let's say, and tried the best that we could. But they enjoy it. We're all staying at the track. It's in our own little bubble, and it's been fun so far.
It's like going amateur racing all over again, like in the schoolboy paddock, you know what I mean? But Rasmus, we are out of time. Thanks for joining us. All the best to you and the team, and obviously Kai de Wolf as well in the MX 250 a little later on. And that's what we will be picking up on a little bit later in about an hour and a half's time. All the action from EMX Open and EMX 250. They're here again, just as they were on Saturday. So join us for that if you can. We start live on air just after 1 o'clock o'clock today. We'll see you then. Thanks for watching. Thanks to all our guests. See you next time. We haven't got too long to wait. Saturday, we'll be back. See you then.